What's going on, guys? It's Cuda here, or Kian, and welcome to my channel. This is the first video I'm uploading on my channel, and it's a story time video, so I hope you guys do enjoy. Before we hop into today's video, I just wanted to explain to you guys what this channel is going to be a little bit about, and hopefully it makes sense. So anyways, basically this channel is just going to be story time videos of my life experiences, and I want to note that I don't always make the best decisions in these story times. So please use your head when making decisions for yourself. Don't just copy something I do because you saw it in a video and I turned out somewhat okay. You could get yourself into some shit, and yeah, that wouldn't be too good, would it? Basically, all you need to know is I don't always make the best choices, and please don't copy something because you see it in my video, because that could not always turn out well for you. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into my first story time. It's a story time that I think you guys will enjoy. It doesn't involve me directly, but it definitely involves, me in the situation, and I thought it was pretty funny, but also pretty painful. So anyway, this story takes place about 2 years ago. It was junior year in high school for me. I was a little 17-year-old Cuda running around, skating a lot, getting himself into some shit. Now, I had these two friends at the time that I used to just bullshit around with around town. We used to skate, get ourselves into trouble. I wouldn't say we were like the typical burnout skaters, because I don't think that's what we were, but I mean, if you need something to compare it to, I guess that's what you could. But basically, this story involves those two friends. It all started off as a normal day. I was sitting in my bed. It was the summertime, so we didn't really have much going on. And I got a text from my friend. He hit me up saying, "Yo, you want to hang out? Let's go skate." And at the time, if I got a text like that, there is no way I am not going to skate. At this time, I had very few friends that I would consistently hang out with, so if one of them were to text me like, "Hey, let's go skate," or "Let's chill tonight," I would be all over that. Now, it kind of sounds like I'm a grade A fucking loser, but I promise it really wasn't like that. I just didn't like all the drama that came with being popular, so I kind of kept my circle tight, and I just had a few close friends that I would chill with. So yeah, like 15 minutes later, after I got dressed, washed my face, got ready for the day, I hopped in my friend's car and we went down to the skate park, and we were skating there for a couple hours, just smoking, chilling, having fun. I'm sure if you skate, you know the game Skate. Basically, it's kind of like horse with basketball, or pig, if you will. And so we'd run up a few games of skate and just kind of practice our tricks. We weren't really doing much crazy stuff at this time. And after about 2 hours of us just chilling there, hanging out, having a good time, this car pulls up. And it's this random guy that we've really never seen before. And he gets out with his skateboard in his hand, looks over at us. He's like, "Yo, what's up, guys? Ready to skate?" Now, I don't have a lot of experience at this time with hard drugs. I was just smoking at the time, but I could definitely tell that this guy was on a little something more than weed. I mean, his eyes were basically bulging out of his head, and he just was kind of shaking. It looked like he was on something, or just had the worst case of Tourette's. Now, I'm not saying this to be rude or anything. Free will exists for a reason, but I'm just saying he was definitely on something. And hey man, that's cool, you do you. So anyways, he hops the fence and he jumps on his board, and he's just skating around, getting warmed up, and we're just kind of watching him. And he looks really good at skating. He looks like he could definitely do some pretty advanced stuff. At least at this time, he was much better than us. So after he took a couple laps around the park, he kind of got a little warmed up. He came over to us and started talking to us. He was all like, "Yo, what's your guys' names? Like, how long you've been here? Do you guys come here a lot?" That type of thing. So we all shared our names, and I'm not going to tell you his actual name, but let's just call him Steve. And so Steve smacks us all up, and he's like, "Nice to meet you guys. I'll be coming here a little more often. I just moved into town. I love to skate, so I'll be here a decent bit." And we were all like, "Cool, man. Nice to meet you. We'll see you, hopefully around the skate park more often." It's always nice to have another cool person in the group to skate with, so, we didn't really view it as a bad thing. And now the skate park that we were at wasn't really a huge skate park, but there was definitely room for multiple people to be skating and running lines at the same time. So we all hopped on our boards and we were skating around, and all of a sudden, Steve just pulls out these crazy tricks out of the bag on the ramps, and he's going up and getting air and doing grabs and just doing some crazy shit that we'd never seen at this park before. And no lie, we were kind of novices at this time, so we just hopped off our boards and we were sitting there watching him. Yeah, basically it looked like we were a bunch of 13-year-olds watching Tony Hawk shred on a mega ramp, something like that. But yeah, after doing some cool shit, Steve hops off his board and comes over to us, sitting there watching him looking like fucking idiots. Now, I can't really remember what trick he was talking about doing, but he comes over to us and he's just starting to talk about this cool trick he's been trying to learn, and how at this other skate park, that he used to live by, that he would go there all the time and he would practice, and he landed it once and he wanted to show us. So we were like, yeah, man, like go for it. That'd be awesome. But the way he was explaining it, he didn't really sound very confident that he could get enough speed, let alone do the trick in the air. Because I mean, this was a pretty complicated trick. But yeah, as you know, fellow skaters, we were hyping him up and he was getting the confidence. He was like, yeah, man, I think I could do it. Now, when someone says they think they can do a trick that's completely dangerous and out of their skill gap, you probably shouldn't encourage them to do it. But we didn't know any better. We thought this guy could do it. And allow me to remind you that this guy was still cracked out. And while he was doing some cool ass shit, I will admit, I don't think he was in peak condition to be doing some tricks that he's never really learned before or landed. But that ain't stop him. So he finally gets the confidence to go and do this trick, and he gets a lot of speed, runs up, jumps on his board, and we're all just sitting there waiting for him to, you know, hit the ramp and do this sick trick. And so he gets up to the ramp, and he goes off the ramp, and yeah, his board didn't come with him at all. Kind of looked like one of those Skate 3 animations when you totally bail or go off something too hard, and you're just kind of sitting there floating in the middle of the screen with your board going fucking 10 years the other way. Yeah, so anyway, he goes flying. The board goes flying over the fence out of the skate park, and he landed directly on his arm. And I could tell by the way he landed that he definitely broke something. I didn't quite hear the crack or the break or the shatter or anything like that, but he definitely fucked his arm up. And so he just screams out in the middle of the skate park. He's like, ah, fuck, I broke my arm. Someone come help me. Ah, my arm is broken. Like, literally screaming at the top of his lungs. And I could tell that he was definitely in some serious pain. So do I blame him? No, I don't. Because when I walked up to him and saw how fucked his arm was, I understood perfectly. To put it nicely, his arm was not in the position that it was supposed to be, and he had cuts and scrapes and just a whole bunch of blood just coming out of his arm. It did not look good at all, and he definitely needed to go to the hospital for sure. So we rushed over to him and we were like, yo, like, Steve, you alright, man? Like, that didn't look too good. Do you need an ambulance? You know, basically being juniors in high school, not really knowing what the fuck to do because we've never really experienced a medical event like this. And he's like, call an ambulance. Like, I need to go. I definitely broke my arm. Like, it's so fucked right now. Look at my shit. So I whip out my phone and type in the infamous 911. It starts ringing. The operator comes on and she's like, you know, 911, what's your emergency? And you know, from start to finish, I just ran her through everything that happened. You know, Steve was at the skate park. You know, he was skating and then he did this trick and he fell and he broke his arm and he was in a lot of pain. Need an ambulance, you know, ASAP. Operator responds back to me and she's like, okay, we'll have an ambulance there, you know, in 5 minutes. Just sit tight, try to keep pressure on the blood, make sure it stops bleeding. You know, giving us basic medical advice. We weren't doctors, so we really didn't know what to do, but obviously, you know, she's going to walk us through it a little bit until the paramedics get there. So fast forward another 5 minutes and we see an ambulance rolling up and we're like, thank God. You know, Steve's going to go to the hospital. His arm's going to be okay. He's going to be all right. And, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll give him a detox and get all the drugs out of his system. Who's to say, really? But yeah, anyways, he got picked up by the ambulance. He left his car there. He was probably going to, you know, pick it up after he got out of the hospital. But they carted him away. They tended to his arm. And I never saw Steve ever again. Maybe he thought that the skate park there was, you know, bad luck because the first time he went there, he broke his arm. Maybe it was the drugs. Maybe it was the lack of confidence. I don't really know. I mean, who's to say if he was really on drugs anyway? But yeah, we skated there for a few more hours and then we decided to go home. I went home and told my mom about it and she was like, oh, wow, that's not very good. And I was like, yeah, no, it really wasn't. So yeah, guys, moral of the story is if you're not confident in doing something, you probably shouldn't do it. Especially if it's dangerous because you could probably hurt yourself and that wouldn't be so good, would it? But yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more content from me, just hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on, and you will be all set to go. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's been Cuda, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.